If you've ever felt that frustrating feeling when your marketing efforts or your content creation just isn't getting the reaction or the feedback, comments, likes, whatever it is that you're hoping to get, if you can relate to feeling frustrated when things don't go your way, this episode's for you. Today, I want to share my experience of entering this world of content creation and value-driven content creation, the emotional responses that I've been feeling when I think I've hit the jackpot with a piece of content and it just gets crickets, and how we should be approaching this kind of feedback. If making progress in your life, in your business, is something that you've hit a bit of a brick wall on, my continuous improvement 5-minute daily planning checklist might be exactly what you need to get yourself out of that rut and start making meaningful progress towards your goals again. It's specifically designed for entrepreneurs to find that balance that we're looking for across all the important areas of life. My completely free gift to you. So simply reach out, let me know, and I'll shoot it straight through. Absolutely no strings attached. Hello, and welcome back to the From Zero to Marketing Hero podcast. My name's Paul Heron. I'm a life coach and an entrepreneur. For the last 5 years, I've been building a successful coaching business, but I come from the corporate world originally, where my specialty was maintaining, developing continuous improvement processes and systems that could be relied on to produce predictable results. One thing I've learned in this journey so far is that whether it's in our personal lives, our small businesses, this exact same mindset applies equally as much to everything that we're trying to create. This podcast is my latest attempt at pushing myself out of my comfort zone. For the last 5 years, I have predominantly outsourced my marketing, and this is the year I decided to figure this stuff out. So this journey is all about me documenting my progress, hopefully giving you guys a bit of an insight into the highs and lows along the way. And today's episode's no different. Today's episode really is all about managing our expectations, particularly around content creation and when we think we've hit a winner and it just gets absolutely no response. So without any further ado, let's get into the episode. Now, I touched on it there, I guess, but the real challenge that I have been experiencing is managing the ego in some ways and managing that need for external validation. I think that's a really important factor here because I'm new to this game. Posting on social media there's always been a little bit of resistance there. I've recently decided that this is the thing that I'm going to commit myself to in terms of helping to build awareness and understanding about who I am and what I do in my coaching business. That's what this is all about. So I've started creating a ton of different types of content, various different things. And I've spoken in previous episodes about my strategy. And in many ways, it revolves around video content. So creating 3 to 5 minute longer form videos, reels, and some shorter form text-based stuff. There's a few different things that I'm going to try. But there has been a ton of different types of content that I have been putting out. Some I have thought better than others. One challenge I've had, and one challenge that has become really clear, is particularly with my short form video content, my reels, that sort of stuff under 60 seconds. My goal there and part of my strategy that I'm trying to really take that next step on at the moment is to encourage comments and encourage conversation and encourage people to be interested in the little giveaways that I've been putting together, which is a huge part of that strategy. Up to this point, yes, I've had a couple of positive comments and I've been able to pass on a few copies of my download, which is awesome. So there's been a little bit of interaction there. But the comments and the interactions have been far fewer than what I have been hoping to get. Now, if you're like me, my first response to a lot of this is there's a little bit of despondency that comes up. There's a little bit of being critical on myself, questioning whether I'm doing the right things. It's very easy to tie our self-worth and the belief that we have in ourselves with these external results. So first and foremost, I think just recognizing the problem or the challenge that we're trying to work towards. For me, in this instance, I am working towards trying to be able to produce content that people resonate with, that they want to reach out and request a copy of my download. That's the goal. And I need to be able to find a way to test as many different things as I can and to be able to use all of the feedback that I get to my advantage. I don't want to be tying my self-worth, my self-belief with a lack of results. When I'm able to zoom out a little bit and give myself a little bit of breathing space and look at this for what it is, I'm able to see that feedback in a different light, which is huge. I think it comes down to empowering myself to take ownership for all of this. If we look at what we have control over, we only have control over the things that we think and the things that we decide, our decisions. We have control over the actions that we take. And ultimately, it's not much more than the things that we say and do that are in our control. Everything else is outside of our control. So each one of these iterations of content that I am creating is a chance for me to go through that process. And I've spoken in the past about all feedback being valid, and getting no comments and no one requesting something is awesome feedback in itself if we're able to look for it. Now, I could spend time being down on myself, questioning why the external world's not doing the thing that I would like it to be doing. But I think there is just far more value in taking responsibility and ownership and looking at that result for what it is and thinking outside the box. What am I going to try next? What's the next thing I'm going to try? And when I've been able to look at that feedback for what it is, I'm effectively able to see that the content I'm producing right now isn't good enough to get comments. And that's awesome feedback. It's awesome to be able to be aware of that. I am very much the beginner at creating content in general, but a bit more specifically creating reels that engage. I'm able to look at, there's a couple of different elements. If I just look at those reels, there's a couple of different elements. There's the problem that I'm talking to when I put these reels together. Maybe that's not landing at all. Maybe I'm talking a little bit too much about myself still in these reels. Maybe the giveaway itself isn't enticing enough. Maybe it's too vague. Maybe it's too broad and not specifically targeting that problem that's on their mind right there and then. Because if I was, and it resonated and it landed and I was talking to the right person, they would be downloading it. They would be requesting a copy. And this is all just awesome feedback. And it just helps reinforce the idea that, yes, I'm the beginner, but by putting reps into continuously improving what I'm doing, that's going to lead to the result that I'm looking for. So what am I going to try next? What does the next iteration look like? And I've been doing a little bit more research on this, and what's coming to mind for me right now is specificity. Get really specific. I think up to this point, I've probably been talking more to very general situations. For example, feeling like you're stuck in a rut. That is not a specific problem. It is a situation more than anything else. And I think what I need to be doing is looking at all of the smaller individual problems and challenges that come under that feeling of being stuck in a rut. Things like not being able to get out of bed at 7 a.m. when the alarm goes off, for example. I think if I start to talk to much more specific examples like that, then I think I'm more likely to cut through the noise and to hit home with something that someone is specifically needing attention with right there and then. And maybe, just maybe, they might be interested in the little solution that I can put together on that front. So I'm just thinking out loud right now. That just came to me right then. Maybe that's the next thing I try. Who knows? Keep an eye out for that. It might be on its way. But that's the type of thing that I'm going to focus on. Something that can be actionable, something that can be applied within a very short a period of time, something that can provide a very small win to someone's bigger problem, and potentially even help them take that next step towards identifying the next problem that I might be able to help out with, which I think is huge. So there's already an abundance of ideas there for me to try. I think the most important takeaway for me, and the thing that I would like to share with you guys today, is this is all about a journey where we need to be able to build an element of resilience. The time it takes for us to test something out, be able to get real with the feedback that we receive, even if it's 0 comments when we expected comments, the time it takes us to be able to get curious about that is key. In my example there, there was a period where it's a little bit difficult initially. Luckily, in these cases, I've been able to work towards a place where I generally just have a little bit of a break, go grab a coffee, come back, and I can look at things with a different light, allow myself to get curious. But in the past, in the years that have gone by, that process might have taken me 24 hours, 48 hours. And the longer that it takes for us to be able to come back, the longer it's going to be before we can actually get to the place we're wanting to be. This is all about putting reps in, and we want to be able to put reps in as regularly and consistently as we can to figure this stuff out. I'm on this journey. I want to be able to put reps in every single day in terms of showing up for this podcast, but as well as my content creation. I want to be creating every day, learning from the feedback or lack thereof, and just trying different things. And, that's my goal. And I think there needs to be an element of resilience around this stuff. So whatever the results, all feedback is good feedback. Even when something doesn't work or doesn't go as expected, there are opportunities to really dive in and learn and use that as an opportunity to help evolve your content creation in this case, or it could be anything else, and take it to the next level. So I might leave the conversation there for today. I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you think when we're able to take responsibility and ownership for the things that are in our control, which is ultimately the inputs rather than the external results, do you think I'm on the right track thinking like this and taking this route? I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback. The best place to reach out to me is to contact me through my website. It's paulheronlifecoaching.com. There's a number of different ways you can reach out there. So head over there. Let me know what you think. Do keep in mind that if you are feeling like you're in that little bit of a rut, if you are struggling to get up out of bed when the alarm goes off at 7:30 in the morning, my daily planning, continuous improvement checklist might be exactly what you need. It is a simple 4-step process that will only take 5 minutes a day to apply, and it can really start helping you identify what truly is most important and help you start moving that needle forward in each of those areas every single day. Finally, if you are enjoying the show, please consider hitting pause for a moment and hitting subscribe. It really does go a long way in helping to share the show with a wider audience. And lastly, have a fantastic day. And until tomorrow, bye for now.